How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. My name is Henry, and I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because in this episode, we're going to make a positive shift. We're going to get into that positive mind so you can move forward in the light that you deserve. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive space. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive space. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So one of the most powerful things that we can understand, one of the most powerful beliefs that we can take is this, and that perspective is everything. This whole experience that we're having, this entire life, perspective is the only thing that changes how you experience it. See, it's not the thing that happens, it's how you receive it that truly matters. You can control your perspective. That's what having a positive mindset is all about. You see, mind and set can be two separate things. The mind, which is the filter in which you process and perceive and receive this world. And then set. What frequency, what energy, what perspective are you going to set it on? Of course, there's the default setting, and some people are set with an amazing one. They're given the perspective that allows them to see success, that allows them to see the way forward, the way out, the way up. Some people aren't. They're born into a situation, whether it's their own or their surrounding environment, that gives them a lower perspective, how things can't be done, why it can't be done, how you fail. Whatever your current state is, whether it's negative, which is low, really stuck in self, or high, positive, away from self, you can control it. You see, gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to shift your perspective. Gratitude is not just saying what you're thankful for. Gratitude is not going around the kitchen table saying, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. That's the soft form. That's the unempowering form. Of course, it's important to pay attention to those things, but that's not using gratitude to shift your perspective. See, gratitude is attaching yourself to an energy. When you experience something good, you feel good. Think about a very important moment for you. Maybe it was when you had your first child, you won an award, you accomplished something, you got that job, you hit that goal weight, whatever it is. Think about that moment, how excited it was, how excited you were, how great it felt, how your hair would stand up when you think about it. When you start connecting that moment and start saying how thankful you are for it, how thankful you are for everything that took place to allow you to have it, when you start saying those things over and over, you're connecting to that energy. You see, you're shifting your perspective. But that silver lining, that goodness, that positive energy is in everything. It's in everything. You see, the worst thing that you're going through could be even harder. And so the version of you that goes through the harder thing would love what you went through today. And it can apply to anything. It can apply to the hardest things. Like one of my worst fears, of course, is like losing a child. It might be one of yours. But imagine this perspective, and this one's really pushing the boundary with it. Imagine you have a child and they live for 20 years and unfortunately they pass away. That's a parent's worst nightmare. That's my worst nightmare. But imagine not having a child at all. Imagine having a child that you lost at 10. You see, the parent that lost their child at 10 would give anything to have 10 more years. But we're thinking, what did we lose? Why did we lose it? Why did it happen to us? Perspective is everything. It doesn't mean that that thing wasn't bad. It doesn't mean that that didn't hurt, that things can't happen to victimize you. But your experience in it, which this all is an experience, can be shifted depending how you view it. Now, I'm not saying ignore the hard things or that if you feel bad, you shouldn't feel those feelings. I'm just saying there's more than the current moment. There's more than how it affects you. And you want a positive experience. You want to feel good. You want to operate in love and light. You want to see the good things in life, and you can. You do this by shifting your perspective in every single moment. The example I always go to is think about this. There's two identical twins. They've lived their entire life the same. There's nothing different about them. They have the same strength. They have the same money. They have the same look. Like everything's the same. The only thing that's different is how they perceive things. And these twins, they're tasked with digging a ditch on both sides of the road. One is on the right and one is on the left. They have to dig the ditch across the equal strength, equal ability, equal training. Nothing is different about them. The one on the left is so upset that they have to dig this ditch. Why me? I should be doing something more. I'm worth more than this. I shouldn't be doing a ditch. This is, hard labor. I should be using my mind. I went to school. I shouldn't have to do this. It's painful. My back's going to hurt. I don't want to be doing this. This isn't fair. This isn't right. And they're digging. See, they're digging and they're saying these thoughts over and over. What do you think their experience is going to be? And you might be saying, well, yeah, I shouldn't be digging a ditch. I've got my master degrees in this. I've done this thing. I shouldn't have to dig ditches for a living. This isn't about should. This isn't about fair. It's about your perception in your experience. So that's how the person on the left is. Now, what about the twin on the right? Same background, same education, same money-making opportunities. Nothing's different. But they, as they're digging, wow, the weather's really nice today. So glad that there's a breeze. I'm so glad that I'm able to dig like this, that my body still moves. This is going to look good. I'm such a good, whatever I do, I'm the best. I'm going to make the best ditch ever. I'm getting stronger. This is a good workout. Ooh, I'm going to do this even more. I'm going to switch sides so that I can strengthen the other side. The sun feels so good on my skin. I'm going to get a little tan. I needed a tan. You see, both people are doing the same thing, but whose experience do you think is more enjoyable? Do you want to be correct? Do you want to be right? Or do you want to have an experience you love? It doesn't mean you have to live a life of things that you don't want to do and just be thankful that you have to do them. It applies to everything. And I know this because I work with clients that are struggling to get by, and then I work with clients that have more money than you can imagine, millions of dollars. And I promise you, it hurts to feel negative. It hurts to have that depression. It hurts to have that anxiety. It hurts to have all those things. But imagine if that was your situation and you had it all. And you might be thinking, well, that's a good problem to have. I wish I had this. I didn't have bill stress, these things that you think. Your own hell, your own torment in your mind is more powerful than anything external. Relief, freedom, belief in self, that's what matters. Confidence, ease, all that's possible based on your perspective because your perception is your reception. You have this experience of life. Why not experience the light in it? If something bad happens and 10 points of it, say there's 10 points in this thing, 10 points of energy. And there's 1 point that's positive, that feels good, but there's 9. Do you want to be correct and say, well, there's 9 bad things, so that's my experience? Or do you want to go through the experience and receive the good and acknowledge the bad, acknowledge the low frequency, but take with you the 1% that was good, that 1 point that was positive, that 1 point that lifts you up? It's your choice. You can choose to be right. You can choose to say that the world isn't fair. You can choose to say that this happened, and you can be correct in all of that. But it's your experience. Do you want to be right, or do you want to have the internal state that you desire to be? This world is just an experience. This life is just an experience. What do you want it to be? Imagine if you didn't need a promotion to feel good, if you didn't need more money to feel good, you could still do those things. Feeling right within, having inner peace, having disattachment from the material, that's not saying that you can't live an expansive life. This world has so much to offer. There's so much abundant. If you want to fly the fanciest planes, fly the fanciest planes. If you want to drive the nicest cars, drive the nicest cars. In fact, when you buy that car, empower someone else to design and create the most amazing car. That's their dream. So expand as you desire. Experience as you desire. But no, the external things will never fulfill an internal hurt, an internal pain, trauma, Depression, anxiety, it will never solve that. Of course, if you're starving, you don't have food, and you're struggling to find food, that if you made a little bit of money and had food on your table or shelter, it would make life easier. It would make things easier to have gratitude. But I can tell you that there's somebody that always will have less than you, but somehow is happier than you, somehow is more fulfilled than you, and wouldn't trade places with all your material things if it meant they had to take your mindset too. You have the power. You can create anything amazing, anything expansive, anything that you want. Stop trying to change the external to feel better. You can still work towards goals. You can still work towards your vision. Those are important. That's why you're here, to have that experience, to do those things. But internally, how you feel about them, how you receive about them, all boils down to your perspective. So make a commitment. Choose the positive mindset. Work hard on practicing your gratitude. Work hard on every situation you go through, finding the good. Receive it within so that you can give it. As you receive, you'll feel. Once you start feeling, you'll start operating that frequency. That's how you change the frequency that you exist on. The world's going to be the world. It's a teaching world. This is Earth's school. Use it. Rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this episode was impactful. I'm actually recording it outside, so if you're watching it on video, this is a little different for me. I can't see anything other than the camera facing me, so it was a little bit different, but I hope the message still resonated. I want to do more things out here, whether it's in nature or different environments, just to try to expand, the safety of a studio where there's no distractions, no sounds, I can focus. It's time to step out. So if you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It'll keep you updated with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. You can actually leave a comment on this episode. If you're just listening to it, of course, I'd love to hear your feedback. I appreciate all that. But if you're watching it, let me know, what you thought. If you're on YouTube, which, I know a lot of people actually watch this on Spotify and iTunes and things like that. But if you're on YouTube, leave a comment as well. I'd love to know what I could do to improve. I want to expand this message to as many people as possible so that we can operate in the frequency that we desire. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.